Well, I got the little guy down the beach, and right now we're on our way to a veterinarian. That'll be in here in a minute, and we can go from there. Hey y'all, I'm not a real big beach fan, but I love photography, and one of the things that I enjoy doing is walking along a rocky coast and taking pictures of the surf and the rocks and things like that. So we had stopped at a local beach here, and I decided to scratch off and go for a walk. There were some rocks, further down the beach, so I wanted to go ahead and walk down there and take some pictures of the surf crashing onto the shore. So I started walking, and I'd probably gotten maybe a mile down the beach. And as I'm walking, I got to this one section of rocks, and I noticed something laying on the sand. Well, it turned out to be a sloth. And he was just kind of laying there on the sand, and he wasn't moving around a whole lot. I realized that sloths don't move a whole lot to begin with, but this guy was moving exceptionally slow. So I kind of figured something was wrong with it. There were trees overhead, and I figured maybe he had fallen out of a tree and hit the rocks or something. So I did want to get him some help. So I sent a text message to my wife, and she had tried to get in touch with the police and the fire department. I didn't know who to contact. And I wasn't just going to walk off and leave this guy laying there. I did get him off the rocks and away from the surf. I was afraid he'd drown or something if the tide came in, even though sloths are, fairly strong swimmers. I didn't want to just leave him there. So I got him up near the edge of the beach. Well, right off the beach is jungle. So then I started worrying about maybe a jaguar would come down and eat him or something. So, I couldn't just leave him there. So I started Googling. Sorry, I just got salt water in my coffee. So I started Googling sloth rescue and things like that. Well, one of the items that popped up was the Costa Rican Sloth Institute. So I sent him a message, asked for help, and fairly quickly somebody got back in touch with me. We went back and forth a few times on, what kind of sloth it was, how bad was he injured, things like that. And this whole time, I'd kind of been hoping that, my wife had gotten in touch with the fire department or the police or somebody, and they would come and help me. Well, the fire department doesn't do sloth rescue, so I was pretty much on my own. So, in talking to the rep from the Sloth Institute, they had told me about a veterinarian in the town nearby that I could take him to, specialized in sloth. So, basically I didn't have anything else I could do. So I just picked the little guy up, started fast walking back down the beach, carrying the sloth in my arms. And, it must have been quite a sight, seeing this skinny little white guy fast walking down the beach carrying a sloth in his arms. Judging by the number of people that were oohing and ahhing and pointing, and you heard lots of comments, and people were running up, and I kept trying to tell him, basically he's injured. I'm trying to get him help. Most of the people understood, immediately. Quite a few thanked me for trying to help him. So here I am, fast walking a mile down this beach carrying a sloth in my arms, and we finally got him back to the car. And by then I'd gotten the address of the veterinarian from the institute. So I climbed in the back seat of the car, and it was kind of funny because 2 days earlier we had paid $100 to go on a sloth tour, where you go out in the jungle and you hope to see a sloth. And we spotted a few of them. They were way up in the trees, and it was a nice tour. But we only got like 150, 200 feet from them, so it was kind of hard to see them. Couldn't really see them close up or anything. But, we never really expected to see one close up. And here I am 2 days later, climbing in the back seat of my car with a sloth in my arm. So we went ahead and got him into town and drove him to the veterinarian who specialized in sloths. And I ran inside, I'm covered in sand and covered in sweat and, barefoot. And I run into the building carrying the sloth in my arms. And, I laid him down on the table, and he was pretty dehydrated. They said they were going to give him some oxygen, give him fluids to kind of rehydrate him. His temperature was pretty low. So they were going to do what they could to try and raise the temperature back up, for starters. And they said, leave him with us, we'll take care of him. The Sloth Institute was going to send somebody down to take care of him, when they could. Their headquarters is probably about an hour and a half away from here. So I knew it would be a while. And honestly, I didn't want to leave the little guy. I kind of felt like, he was still my responsibility. I'd taken care of him up to that point. I carried him all that way, and I just didn't want to let him go. So, but, I understood. So, we went ahead and left. I would like to thank, I don't know who it was, but I had been talking to somebody from the Costa Rican Sloth Institute, and they were the ones that gave me the advice on how to carry him and where to take him and things like that. So whoever you are, thank you for your help. I appreciate it greatly. So we got him to the vet. Reluctantly, I left him with them. Drove on back. So now we're kind of waiting on a progress report. The Institute promised that they would keep me updated on how he's doing and things like that, which I'm kind of eager to find out about. So you know, at this point right now, there's not a whole lot else to do. You know, I really hope that the little guy's going to be okay. You know, cows and horses and pigs are one thing. You know, I never thought I'd be involved in a sloth rescue, but you know, I'm glad it was me. So, you know, like I said, we're just kind of waiting to hear what happens and try and get some information on it. But like I said, I wanted to fill you guys in on what exactly happened and how everything went and things like that. Hey everybody. Well, this kind of sucks. You know, right now I'm in Costa Rica. And I was walking along a rocky coast, taking pictures of the ocean crashing up on the shore. And I found a sloth laying in the sand. I think he probably fell out of one of these trees. He's injured. And I have called the sloth rescue. They're going to send somebody, but it's going to take them about an hour to get here. So I'm hoping he's going to be all right until then. But I did want to keep you guys up to date on what was going on. You know, I hate to see him like this. I don't know what else to do. I don't want to carry him around. You know, I don't think that's very good. But at the same time, you know, I'm not sure what else to do. So, anyway, yeah, this is how my day goes. Even on vacation, you know, I'm trying to help these guys. Hopefully somebody will get here fairly quick and I can lead these guys to where he's at, and hopefully they'll come and get him and take care of him, and he'll get back to the jungle where he belongs. Alrighty, y'all. Bye. Well, I got the little guy down the beach, and right now we're on our way to a veterinarian that specializes in sloth rescue. So hopefully he'll be all right. I'll let you guys know what happens.
Hola. ¿Qué le pasó? Un momento, ya los atendemos. Ay, perdón. Pedri, ¿dónde está?
There's a sloth out there.
Por acá, por favor. Un momento.
Well, we made it to the veterinary office. Hopefully the vet will be in here in a minute and we can go from there.
Hello.
Sí.
serían.
Ajá. Agua.
Okay,
Ajá.
yes.
You speak English?
A little bit.
Little.
Where I found?
Herradura Beach.
Okay.
He was on the rocks. I think he had fallen out of the trees on the rocks.
Okay. He so down the temperature. It's really, really down. I want to put it through it
Okay.
because I need to hide the temperature.
Right. Okay. IV?
Yes.
We're going to get the fluids in you, okay? Alright, we're going to put some needles in you, make you feel better, okay? It's going to hurt at first. It's going to be okay. Hey everybody, wanted to follow up with you guys on the sloth that I had rescued the other day. I got a call letting me know that the little guy didn't make it. She said that sloths are normally fairly resilient animals. But apparently this guy had been there for a while. And he was too weak. I don't know what else was going on with him, but he was just too far gone, and the vet couldn't save him. It sucks. I'd hope that, they'd be able to get him better and release him back into the wild. Sometimes it just doesn't happen, though. Normally I'd be here asking you guys to, send us a donation and, help out with the hay feed and, cost of the grain and things like that. Today's a little bit different. Today I'm going to ask you guys, when you can and if you can, to please send a donation to the Costa Rica Sloth Institute. They do a lot of good work here, and there are a lot of sloths here that need help, and they're the ones that provide that help. But just like any other rescue, it takes money. The little guy that I'd found, he was one of the unlucky ones. But there are many, many others who could use help. So, once again, please, if you can, send them a donation. I did find out that the person I'd been talking to was Sam. She's the executive director of the Institute. I would like to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to Sam and all of the people that work with her. You know, I wish things could have turned out differently, obviously. You know, sometimes it just didn't happen that way. I'll put a link in the video description of where you can donate or how to contact them. You know, and maybe next time it'll turn out different. You know, there are a lot more out there that could use the help. So, anyway, I wanted to follow up with you guys, you know, and kind of let y'all know what was going on. All right, guys. Love y'all. Bye.